right. Hi, everyone. Before I hand things over to Kaylin, just a reminder, this is going to be recorded and emailed out to all of you following today's event. And if you have any questions, please feel free to put them into the Q&A throughout the webinar, and we will address those throughout. We're so happy to have you here.
Ooh, look at all these places popping in. We got quite the spread. Look at that. All right. So hi, everyone. My name is Kaylin. I am on the product team here at SimpleConsign. And some of you who've been with SimpleConsign for a while may know me. I've been with the company for quite a few years here now. And I actually started out as a customer just like you all. So what we want to talk about today is the official launch of our integration with the merchant surcharge program. And for those of you who may not know what that is, it allows you to safely and legally charge credit card surcharge to your customers. And the reason that's important is that the laws are different from area to area, and this integration will automatically exclude any customers who cannot be charged surcharge due to restrictions in their area. This is different from some of the other surcharge replacements that you may be familiar with in SimpleConsign. For quite a while now, you've been able to charge credit card processing fees to your consigners, but this one charges them directly to the customers, to the people purchasing goods from your store. This is available for customers who are in the US and are integrated using our Card Connect or Simple Pay credit card processing integrations. So if you're on the Card Connect, or they may be going by Fiserv now integration, or if you're integrated through Simple Pay, either of those will qualify you for being able to onboard onto the merchant surcharge program integration. Something to keep in mind for this is if you are already integrated on one of those processors, you will have to be onboarded at the beginning of the month. So it will take effect on the 1st, just like if you have a change to your health insurance, like a qualifying event, and those happen every 1st of the month. So doing this webinar in the middle of the month means you can get that paperwork, get that ball rolling with the credit card processor to get onboarded onto the MSP program so that you can go live on the 1st of the month. If you're not yet integrated with us, you can get added onto the MSP program when you onboard. So as far as how this integration works, the first thing you'll need to do is get set up with your credit card processor. There'll be paperwork and all sorts of that kind of boring stuff that we're not going to worry ourselves with here. So you will want to contact our support team for information. I'll post a link with the form that you can fill out to contact them if you're interested. And you'll fill out some paperwork. You'll get your rate set up for the surcharge percent that you want to charge to your customers. We'll enable it on our end, and then we will be good to go. You'll be able to charge surcharge to your customers. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. If you have any questions as we go, feel free to pop them in the Q&A section, and we'll get to those towards the end, okay? So here in SimpleConsign, I've already got my EMV device here connected so that we can run credit card charges through the system. So I'm just going to use a quick entry method here to enter an item. We're going to enter it for $10 here. And when we hit complete transaction, we've got our payment window pulled up. And I have credit card receipt only selected so we can see what that receipt will look like. And when I say add credit card, it's going to say $10. And when I say send to EMV device, if we look down here at the EMV, it will say sale $10. And because I have a 3% surcharge enabled on my account, it's going to add that 30 cents. It's going to notify the customer that with that surcharge, that's how much it would be. And if I use a test credit card here, and I'm going to do tap, it's going to ask me to confirm that amount. So it's going to say 1030 is my transaction total because I used a credit card. And when I confirm that, it goes through, and you can see that the total has been updated to $10.30 because, again, this was processed with a credit card from a qualified area, and it has that surcharge attached to it. So when I complete the transaction, here's that receipt. and you can see credit card surcharge is separated out, 30 cents, and then it's included in the total here. Yes, you do need to have signage. That information should be available from your credit card processor on what's required in your area. Again, the laws will be different from area to area. Good question. So that's as simple as Surcharge is. Once you have all of the paperwork and everything set up, it is as simple as it makes the decision on a transaction by transaction basis. To give you an example of what it looks like, if you have a debit card, let's bring up another test item. Do $10 just to make it the same. And when we complete our transaction, I'm going to say add credit card, send to EMV device. And this time I'm going to use a test debit card. Oh, well, I did that too quickly. I got too excited. So here it's going to again tell me that if I use a credit card, it's $10.30. And if I do my tap correctly and patiently, it's going to tell me that my transaction total was $10 because this is a debit card. And you can see that the total now came through as $10 because this was a debit card. If, for example, your customer was from a region that was not legally allowed to be charged surcharge, it would also automatically prevent the surcharge from going on and would also charge them $10 instead. And if I complete my transaction, you'll see that there is no mention of surcharge on the receipt. All right. Are there different rules for not-for-profits? Good question. These are good questions for your integrated credit card processor. As far as what the rules are for different intersections of businesses and customers, those are going to be good questions for your processor. We're integrating with the credit card processor system for determining whether a surcharge can be applied, so they own the rules for what gets charged and what does not. Are surcharges still applied when using a debit card? No, debit cards are exempt from surcharge. They are treated like cash, so they cannot have a surcharge applied to them. Good questions. Is there a way to change the sound the credit card machine makes? That sounds like the payment failed. I agree. There are different settings you can set on the individual EMV device itself for the sound settings. I'm not sure if you can change the tone, but you can adjust those beep settings. So those will be available to change through documentation from your credit card provider, from where you got your EMV device from. I think we may have an article on our help center as well. Is average surcharge about 30 cents per $10? I believe the max is 3%, so that would be 30 cents per $10. Again, these are questions that your credit card processor are going to be most familiar with. We don't control the rates or any of that. We just integrate with the system and whether it's allowed to go. How do we know what area allows this? That's a really good question. That's kind of the question of the year for surcharging, because the rules change so quickly as new laws get passed. That's going to be available through your credit card processor to know what areas allow this. I think, for example, there's a couple of states that entirely prevent it, but broadly, most of the U.S. permits credit card surcharge at this time. So, what areas permit it? It's for the most part just at the state level at this point, is my understanding. And your credit card processor will have additional details on what the current laws and regulations are. How do you find out if this is allowed in New York State without changing prices on your tags? That's a good question. I think your credit card processor will be able to help you with that one. Again, we're connecting in with the credit card processor who is connected with the whether or not these charges are legal in these different areas. So we are sending that information to the credit card processor. We are not making any of the decision making on our end. Yes, for the paperwork you need to fill out in order to get this set up. If you're on a qualified integrated processor, again, that's going to be Card Connect, who also goes by Fiserv these days, or our SimplePay integration. You'll want to reach out to our support team, and I have a link for you. Copy. Let's post it in here. Where you can go and fill out a form to let our support team know that you're interested in this, and they'll be able to help you get started on that paperwork. Okay, so if your screen asks you to choose whether it's credit or debit, there's a couple of different things that could be. It could be that you are using PIN debit as well. The card reader, the EMV device, will automatically determine whether it's credit or debit, so you won't have to make that decision. But if you have some other feature that you're using that does require that information to be presented beforehand, you will still have to decide that and click on it before sending it to the EMV. Good question. Is surcharge also on consignment items? Yes. So surcharge would apply to any of the inventory in your system. The only time that it would not apply is if it's a debit card or it's a customer from a not qualified region. Do you know if there has been any negative customer feedback about being charged a credit card fee in this type of retail environment? That is a very good question. There has been some discussion on our Facebook group over the past couple months or year or so about charging credit card surcharge or credit card processing fees in general. The answer is it's a mixed bag. It depends on your business model. It depends on the region. Generally, we see, antique malls and vendor mall type stores often charge it and pass it on to the consignor. I've seen them also pass it on to customers before. And really, it's going to depend on your area and your customers and whether you think they'll receive it well. Do we have reports already for tracking these surcharge fees, or is that only generated from the processor or card point? Good question. So let's flip over into the back office. And if we take a look at let's close out of these things in our test store, and we're going to pull up our sales report. And let's look at today. We'll let that think for just a second while it pulls up our transactions. And you will see credit card surcharge right here. So credit card surcharge is listed out in your daily numbers on the sales report if you've charged it that day. Good question. All right, so you are currently integrated with Fortis. Unfortunately, Fortis is not on the approved or qualified integration list for having access to this feature. This is a feature that is provided by the credit card processor that we have connected into. So that will be not available with Fortis as an integrated credit card processing partner. You would need to be on Card Connect, also called Fiserv or SimplePay, in order to have access to this feature. Would I start the paperwork first or contact CardPoint first? Good question. So the paperwork is going to be for CardPoint. I would start with filling out the form that I posted to hosts and panelists, not to everyone. So let's get that link posted in the correct place. Boop, There it is. So now you should be able to see that. I'd start with filling out that form, which will put you in contact with our support team, and they'll be able to get back in touch with you about making sure that you are on a qualified processor, and then how to start that paperwork and get it rolling so that you can start using this feature. Good question. And then how do we know who our processor is? That is a very good question. I'd start with filling out that form, seeing if you're qualified. The support team will be able to look up who you're currently integrated with. If you're not yet integrated, then you'll want to move to an integrated credit card processor in order to be able to use this feature. And again, you'll want to be in the US and on CardConnect/Fiserv or SimplePay. All right, I see a couple of questions in the chat. Let me go through here and take a look. Can we email the link on the form to us? Yes. Caroline, if you can grab that link so that we can include it in the email, I think that would be a great idea. Thank you.
Of course.
All right. I'm not sure on whether the credit card processor will charge a fee for debit cards, but I do know that we are not allowed to charge surcharge on debit cards, and the card processor automatically removes it if they detect a debit card is being used. If the system asks us whether it's credit or debit, doesn't matter what we click. For example, if we click credit card on our POS and the customer has a debit, will it all work out in the end? Yes, it should all work out in the end. If you are on MSP, Merchant Surcharge Program, the only time that you would need to choose credit or debit in the system ahead of time is if you are using PIN debit. And then that would have additional layers of complexity on there because that will determine whether they're using the debit card as a debit card or a credit card. So you'll have to take that into account. But yes, it should sort itself out. The card processor detects the card type. Does CardConnect or SimplePay have Apple Pay options? My gut says yes, but I'm not 100% sure. That's a good question to ask the processor if you're already on them. If you're not, the support team should be able to help you out with that if you fill out that form and ask that question in the process. Show the link again. Yes, we will include the link in the email with the recording of this webinar. So we'll make sure that that link is available. And we have a question about whether cash cards that people can transfer money to are considered debit cards or credit cards. That's a very good question. I don't know the answer to that. Again, there's a lot of nuance to what gets charged to surcharge and what doesn't, and all of that's handled on the credit card processor's end. So these are good questions to ask as you're completing that sign up process and checking in on what is possible to be charged to surcharge and what is not. All right, let's close out of here and we can go back to our terminal. And let's see. If we ring up a transaction here, and then just to show y'all, if I do, I'll just pick a consignor account here. And if I do add credit card, it's $11 because it has a buyer's fee on it, I believe, since it's a consigned item. But if we do manual card entry, here's that credit or debit option that y'all are asking about. Again, this is typically for PIN debit. So if I enter in my card information, test 6510. I think that's enough zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, perfect. And then if we just fill out this card info, this is a test card that I have for testing our integration. So I'll just plug in our Columbia, and we can click estimate surcharge to see what our surcharge would be. Oh, and buy due credit and estimate. So this is going to show me that my surcharge will be 33 cents because it's $11 this time instead of 10. So submit. So it works even with manual card entry. If you fill out the paperwork and choose not to switch processors, will that cause any issues? Good question. I don't think so. I am not in the day-to-day process of swapping credit card processors. I don't think there's any harm in asking questions. I would start with filling out that form that I linked in the chat, and that will include in the email with the recording as well. The support team is much closer to that process and will be able to help you through that process. Lots of really good questions, y'all. All right, there has been a lull in the questions though. So I think we are good to wrap this up unless there's, will it give you the surcharge estimate before entering the card info or swiping the card? Yes. So if you do the manual card charge like I just did, you can choose to estimate it before you actually run the card. The reason for that is manual card entry is often done over the phone, and the customer won't be there to see the amount. So when you fill out this card info and choose whether it's going to be a credit or debit card, that estimate surcharge will tell you so that you can inform the customer how much to expect on their card. If it's on the EMV device itself, so if we do EMV device entry and we do send to EMV device, here it's going to tell you that the sale is $10, and you can see that it says 1030 with surcharge before they ever put their card in or on the machine. You've been using CardPoint since migration. Welcome to the SimpleConsign's family. Thank you for joining us. Some fees are already on customer. Is this the same as the MSP you're launching? So it's possible that you are on a different form of surcharging. This one does all of the decision making automatically to determine whether the customer is from a region where you can legally charge surcharge. Unless you switched over to MSP recently, that's going to be different. So if you've migrated recently, it's possible that you're on merchant surcharge program. Otherwise, this would be a different program from what you are currently on. I'm going to go ahead and close out this transaction just so it's not sitting here waiting on us. We're going to confirm the amount, and then it'll go through. Can you choose the percent you want to surcharge in case you only want to pass along some of the charge, but not all? Yes, I believe you can change the percent that you charge on the merchant surcharge program with the credit card processor. It's not a setting that you would adjust in SimpleConsign. It is a setting that you would adjust on the credit card processor side. And then when we do all of the math, we get that percentage from your processor. So for our test store, we have it set up at 3%. But it would be whatever you have on your contract with your processor. Good question. You migrated mid-March. There's a chance I would reach out to the support team to get clarification on whether you're on merchant surcharge program or not. it'll be hard to answer with the information I have available right now. All right. And again, merchant surcharge program is available if you are on integrated credit card processing through Card Connect or Fiserv. They, I believe, are now going by Fiserv. It's the same company, or Simple Pay integrated processing. And the process, again, looks like you would reach out to our support team by filling out that form. They'll reach back out to you with additional information that you need to do in order to start that ball rolling, whether you're on a qualified processor or whether you would need to become integrated with our system. And for stores that are already on the qualified processors, you'd be able to start using it on the first of the month, assuming you have all of your T's crossed and your I's dotted by that deadline. And so doing this webinar in the beginning or middle of the month here is aiming to give you enough time to be able to get that paperwork completed so you can get onboarded for July. If you don't make that by the 1st, don't worry. You can always start on August 1st as well. So rolling first of the month for stores to be able to get onboarded onto this program from the credit card processor side. Can you bypass the surcharge on an individual sale? That's a really good question. I don't know the answer to that one. So what I'm going to do is find my pad of sticky notes here. I'm going to write that down so that I can get an answer for you and follow up. What we'll do is we'll make sure that that information is included in the Help Center article for Merchant Surcharge Program, and that our support team is trained on that. So I will go get the answer for that as soon as I find a pen that works. Yep. Can you bypass surcharge on a specific transaction? Good question. Yes, you can onboard at any point. I just use the next 2 months as an example of if you don't get the paperwork filled out and everything done in time for July 1st, you'd still be able to onboard in August on August 1st. But again, it's a rolling basis. First of each month is when stores are able to start onboarding onto the program if they're already integrated. Again, if you're not yet integrated, you'd be able to have Merchant Surcharge Program enabled as part of your onboarding into SimpleConsign. When will we receive the email so we can get started? So you can get started if you use that link that's posted in the Zoom chat and fill out that form, and that'll kick off the process for you. But in case you haven't caught that or you want to come back to it later, I think generally the emails get sent out within a day or two with that recording. Caroline, correct me if I'm wrong here.
Yes, you're correct.
So that email should be coming out pretty quickly in the next 24 to 48 hours with the recording and with the link to get you started. But if you grab it from that Zoom chat, you should be able to get started on it now. Where does the surcharge fee go exactly once it is processed? It should go in the same place that the rest of your funds from processing cards go. So that would be, in theory, whatever bank account is connected to your credit card processing. Lots and lots of good questions, y'all. Thank you so much for joining. I am going to wrap this up here. We do have more webinars coming for you, more lunch and learns. Always happy to see our customers, and excited to get to interact with you all. Again, my name is Kaylin. I'm on the product team, so I interact directly with customers in order to learn what changes we can make to the system that would help our customers and doing a better job of selling to their customers, running their store, keeping their businesses going. And I'm glad to be able to share this new merchant surcharge program with you all. Thank you all for joining.